Going live is one of the easiest things that I do in my business that makes me the most money. But you know what makes me even more money? Multi-streaming to multiple platforms. And nobody really talks about this. But if I have to be really honest, it did not start this way. And you're probably sitting here because live streaming feels difficult to you and multi-streaming sounds even more complicated. And I'm here in this masterclass style video to actually break this down for you so that it's so simple you can live stream and multi-stream from your computer with ease in 4K, and you can also repurpose it and promote it with high quality assets that will get more eyes on you, your business, your live streams, your content, and everything that you're doing than ever. So if this sounds like something that you want to master, have a seat, get a pen and paper, and let's get into it. I feel like going live should be simple. We have more live streaming tools, platforms, and tutorials out there than ever before. But here's what nobody is sharing, honestly. Going live on one platform is actually leaving entire audiences for you on the table. You can do one thing and multiply it in so many ways, especially if you've been seeing other people doing really well on other platforms and you want to test those platforms out and see what's in it for you. Because everyone is showing you how to stream to YouTube or LinkedIn or Facebook only, but nobody's giving you a complete system for multi-streaming to all of them at once without making your life 3 times harder. I've been multi-streaming for over 10 years and I'm talking YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, sometimes or most times all at the same time. And I still do it today. I've watched so many creators overcomplicate it with setups involving 3 phones, maybe on TikTok over here, Facebook over here, and all the things. And when you think about it like that, multi-streaming does seem overwhelming. And so I felt like I needed to create this full tutorial on how to multi-stream using Riverside. Quick note before we dive in, I am a Riverside partner, and this video gives me the opportunity to walk you through the exact system that I use. Everything I'm sharing is what actually works for me. And of course, I have an exclusive code for you, Xayli, Xayli, that gives you 1 month free on Riverside. I will link that down in the description below if you want a direct link to that free trial. But let me tell you, it is juicy. So if you want, you can activate that free trial and actually walk through this tutorial with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to be ready to multi-stream. And I am excited to see all that you do, friend. So in this video, we are going to talk about the equipment that you actually need for multi-streaming, because you guys ask me this question all the time. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to give it up in this video. I'm also going to show you my simple setup, the behind the scenes, so that you can see you do not need thousands of dollars in gear to make this work. I promise you, when you see my back end, it looks nothing like the result that you are seeing here. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is the complete technical setup inside of Riverside so that you can get the perfect live stream or multi-stream. You'll see exactly how you can connect all platforms, how you can customize each stream independently, and how you can go live to multiple places from one simple dashboard with the click of one button. Now, lastly, I'm going to show you how to optimize that live stream. And a lot of people do not think about it like this. I have been teaching this for years, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it so that you actually don't have to create content after you're done going live. This process makes things so simple for me, and it keeps my messaging to my audience crystal clear because everything stays in perfect alignment. Okay, I'm also going to add timestamps down below so that you can jump around, or you can just watch it straight through for the complete tutorial. Now, let me quickly explain what Riverside is and why it makes this so simple. First of all, Riverside is an all-in-one platform where you can record studio quality content. Okay? You can multi-stream to multiple platforms, and you can edit with AI tools and create social clips all without leaving the platform. It's actually kind of insane. It's what I wish existed 10 years ago when I just got started, but I don't want to keep you here too long. Let's get into step 1. Let's get a good walkthrough of the studio. I'm so excited to take you behind the scenes. Let's get into it. Okay, this is my behind the scenes camera, and we are going to get into some things. You think you have to spend a lot of money in order to live stream. And I'm here to tell you that is the furthest thing from the truth. Okay. So if you're multi-streaming, you can use this camera, which I recommend. It is called the Hollyland Lyra. I have a full video on it on the YouTube channel where I review it. And I also compare it against my DSLR camera. Okay. This is a microphone that you can get, but for $150, you can also get this camera with a microphone that connects directly to it for high quality audio and high quality video. Okay. That is less than the cost of your phone. I told you, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get started, and I will link that video down below. So that is your minimal setup. I started with something like this when I just got started with live streaming. And so I want to make sure that I'm leading you in the right direction, except tech is so much better now than it was back then. Now I want to take you behind the scenes so that you can see my lighting and all of that jazz. I will also be showing you another microphone. Obviously my setup now is a little bit more advanced, but I want to be honest with you and show you what it looks like back here. And then after I do that, I will show you something that can instantly upgrade the quality of your live streams. And it's something that I do not ever want you to forget. It is very important, and you will see a drastic difference between when you do it and when you don't. Okay, so I also want to put a disclaimer in here. I am using my action camera. This is my DJI Action 6 camera. It's just going to give us a quick pan of the behind the scenes so that you can see exactly what I have going on here. All right, so this is the behind the scenes of my studio. It is a little bit messy right now, but I literally just want to show you where I live stream most of the time. Okay, it's a really simple setup. So this is my full desk for creating and doing all the things. And I have two sets of cameras on this desk. I have this camera, which is a A61 Sony camera. And I have another Sony camera that is right here. I really love this camera, so I have two of them. I just have two different lenses on each. This camera is connected to this setup right here and depends on this lighting, which is a lot more professional. However, this camera is actually connected here, and it's connected to this computer right here. This is my tiny little live streaming setup. I told you, you would think I'm crazy. This is an Elgato prompter, and I can actually see you guys inside of the reflection here. It's what I use for my teleprompter. This is my little monitor. You can see that I'm currently in the Riverside studio. This is my little keyboard. This is my mouse, and this is my microphone, friend. For lighting for this setup, I have some Elgato key light right here, and I have one right here. Sometimes I move this one around depending on where I need to sit in my studio. We just moved, so I still need to hang up my art and all of that jazz, but this is my basic bare bones studio. You don't need a lot. So I feel like in my space right here, I have two sets of cameras, and this one gives like a really nice HD look, and this one gives my everyday live streaming setup. It's really tiny and really small, but you do not need all of this to start. Remember, I said you can start with that little webcam camera, and I was not lying. Now, we can also go under the hood. I use Mac Minis as the brains of my operations. So I have one right there, and I have one right here as well. Now, connected to these Mac Minis are what I told you you must have. You absolutely, positively must have an Ethernet connection. That means you have a plug in your wall that is an Ethernet port, and you have a cable that connects from your computer to your Ethernet port. This way, you're not depending on Wi-Fi for live streaming or multi-streaming. And this is so important. I do not want you to forget about it, because it's one of the most important parts of having a live stream that is flowing without a hitch. You'll see it in the quality of the video that you get on your live stream. And I'll put more information about that down in the description box. Let's talk about the Riverside interface. I want to take you behind the scenes of Riverside itself. Let's get into pricing before we dive in deeply. So first of all, I want you to remember you need to get on the live plan. Okay, so we have Pro, which is here, and monthly this is $29 a month, but live is $39 a month, and you get everything inside of Pro, which is just for recording high quality content. You get that additional live option along with multi-stream, and you're able to multi-stream in full HD for $39 a month. So you want to make sure that you are on that plan specifically. Now, this is what your home dashboard looks like. And when it comes to live streaming, there are two things I want you to pay attention to. The first one is go live, and the second one is plan. Let's dig into plan for a little bit, because I want to show you what is possible. So you can actually plan and pre-schedule your live sessions. You would just add the session name right here. You would add the date and time. If you have someone that you're inviting, you will put that person here. Also, you can add a description. Now, what I love is that you are able to add pre-recorded content, but when we're speaking about multi-streaming, you can turn on that live stream destination. You can add a thumbnail, which is so amazing. And you're also able to add your destinations, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, or whatever it is. We're going to speak about that in a little bit. You can actually pre-schedule your live streams. And to me, friend, that is a game changer, because a lot of times we want people to know ahead of time exactly what we're doing and what we have going on. And when you pre-schedule, all you have to do is get into the studio and hit go live. Let's get into the studio because I want to show you what's going on in there. We'll get set up. We'll give a walkthrough of the studio, and I'll show you some really important things that you need to make sure you have connected so you have a seamless live stream. So I'm going to hit home again. And all you do is you then go back to those live sessions like we discussed before. So here we're going to hit go live. And when we hit go live, we're going to get into the Riverside studio. There are a few things you want to make sure you have connected right here. The first thing is you want to make sure you have your name here. The second thing that you want to make sure that you are doing is make sure you decide whether you're using headphones or not. For me, I don't usually use headphones. And so if you are using headphones, you want to change that setting over here. You want to also make sure that you have your camera, your selected camera on. You want to make sure you have your selected microphone on, and you want to make sure that you have your default speakers set to the setting that you desire so that you can hear really well. Now, after you've made sure you have all of that set up, you want to hit join studio. Now you can see here inside of Join Studio, the first thing that pops up for me is pertaining to my multi-streaming, which makes me really excited. Now, while I want to get into this, I want to walk you through the Riverside Studio just so that you're familiar with all of the things that you might need so that everything is just working seamlessly for you. So the first really cool thing is if you look over here on the left, you can invite somebody almost immediately as a guest. You can copy that link and send it right off to them. That's how simple it is. So you can go live with a guest as well. If you're doing something like hosting a live podcast, for me, that is something that I do on my YouTube channel. And it makes me so happy that everything is right here for me to have someone join me remotely. The second thing that you can do is if you have someone in the same room with you, you can actually add that person as an in-person guest. And you can also set a specific camera for them. Maybe I'll dive into this in another video. Now, because I'm not using all of these things, I want to make sure to X this out, and I can see everything right now. This makes me so happy. I can see exactly what my video would look like on the stream, and you want to make sure it looks and sounds exactly like you would like it. Of course, before I go live, little tip for you is I like to do a test recording just so that I can make sure everything looks and sounds great before I actually go live. So I've just cleared my screen a bit, and I want to make sure that I walk you through every part of this studio so that you don't have any questions or concerns while you're going through this process, because we all know live streaming or even multi-streaming can feel like a bit much, and I want to make this as easy as possible for you. So I'm going to go from left to right so that you can understand this easily. Like I said before, you can see your screen here and you can see how your picture will look. You can make sure that it's perfect for you, and that's what we want to make sure of. By this point, you should already have your microphone and camera that you desire connected, so you shouldn't have to run into that again. But you want to make sure before you start your live stream that you have the layout that will serve you best. So when we speak about layouts, all you have to do is move things around. You're able to hit screen share. You're also able to find the screen that you would like to show. Let's say I want to show a presentation. I'm going to select that presentation, make sure it's on the screen, and then it will show up in that way on Riverside. And then if you go back to the Riverside studio, you see the way that looks. right? The other thing is you're able to choose different layouts to match whatever it is that you desire. So this is the little circle, which is kind of cute. A lot of people use that. You can also choose this rectangle, which shows a little bit more of you, so you can play around with this and choose what is best for you and your presentation as you go along. Or you can just leave it to where it is your camera. You're going to stop screen sharing. You'll come back here. And then as you go along, you can just screen share. And again, you will choose your presentation and you can go back and forth in this way. You have to figure out what works best for you. Keep in mind though, I don't think while you're streaming that you're able to change the layout. So you want to be mindful of choosing a layout that will work for you throughout your live stream. Okay, this is another tip that I want to make sure I share with you. The coolest thing about using Riverside to go live is that if you want to use a script, you can actually put it here and you can always refer to that script as you go along, or you can use their built-in teleprompter. And isn't that so cool? That is such a great option as well. And you can scroll as you go along. For me, I'm using the Elgato prompter and I've just put this screen into my prompter and I can read whatever the script says or remember my points. I love putting points into my live stream just so that I know exactly what I need to cover. And I think that is truly something so helpful, especially when you're live and you're probably nervous that you might forget what you have to say on the live stream. Okay, let's jump into multi-streaming. So one thing that I do is when I'm ready to live stream, I make sure to hit that live stream button. And then you want to make sure that you turn live streaming on. This way you'll see this button turned into go live versus record. And that is the difference with recording inside of the studio and going live or multi-streaming inside of the studio. I like to make sure that this is turned off whenever I am done because I went live by mistake by keeping this on. And then I thought I was going to record something and I ended up live. Good thing I was fully dressed because my Lord. Anyway, so you want to make sure that is turned on. This is where you're going to add your destinations. In order to add a destination, all you have to do is click add destination. You can see here that there is YouTube, there's Facebook, there's LinkedIn, there's X, there's Twitch, there's TikTok, and there's custom RTMP. Now, when it comes to custom RTMP, that is how I add Instagram into my multi-streaming ecosystem. And I will show you exactly how to do that in a little bit. So hold tight. But what I want to make sure to show you is all you have to do is click and connect. When you click, you just hit continue and you'll go to the page where you sign into your YouTube and you give Riverside permission to be able to stream to the platform. Make sure that you go through the verification process for YouTube so that your channel is able to live stream. It is really simple to follow. I will leave some instructions down below in the description box on how you can do so. And you have to wait 24 hours before you're able to go live. Do not forget this if you've never gone live before. You don't want to get tripped up and miss your live stream. Now, I want to share something really cool. If you want to have an internal live stream, you're able to do so on Riverside. And all you have to do is turn that on. You'll get a link and you'll get a separate studio where you can go live on Riverside. I think that is so cool. I'm sure it'll be cool to be multi-streaming on different platforms, but to have a private multi-streaming party inside of Riverside, right? That would be so cool. I can see how that could work as an exclusive place, especially if you are selling something or hosting a webinar or something like that. One thing you want to remember to do is after you've connected all of your platforms, you want to make sure that you click on settings and you want to check this setting. I want to make sure that I'm live streaming or streaming to platforms at 1080p. And I want to make sure that I'm removing that Riverside watermark. Now, here's something really cool that I want to mention. When you stream on Riverside, it streams to platforms at 1080p, but it records a separate recording to your Riverside account at 4K. Now, that is great for repurposing. You know how I feel about repurposing. It is such a great additional touch and it allows for you to do more with less. And that is a game changer for me. I'll walk you through exactly how you can do that towards the end of this video. So sit tight. The next thing I want to do is walk you through this right bar right here. So you see me here as the host. If there was a participant, you would be able to see that person right here. The other cool thing is the chat, friends. So you have two separate chats. And this was a bit confusing to me at first. So I want to make sure to show you because sometimes people don't know where they can find the chat while multi-streaming or live streaming. So the cool thing is that you have a public chat and it's an omni chat. So you'll see comments from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are streaming. streaming to, you'll see those in the public chat. And that is so cool because you could also type messages, or you could have someone log in as your producer and type messages in here for you as well. Now you also have the studio chat, and this is a separate chat that happens with you and your producer or your guest. No one else on the public side will see this. It will only be people inside of the studio. And I think it's so smart to be able to have communication directly in here. So I wanted to make sure to share this because this is gold. Okay. Times like this is where I can see how Riverside can actually scale with you. So if you're hosting a larger event and there are a lot of people included on the back end of things, they can all communicate in this way. The next thing I want to go over to is your brand. You're able to change your brand color. You can add a logo. You can even change your background. Isn't that so cool? You can upload an image, or you can even change the color of your background. That's pretty cool. For me, I have one of my brand colors right here. I love the color yellow. It's been a part of my brand for so many years. The other cool thing is you can have overlays. I thought this was pretty cool. Look at this. For me, I like these things because it just grabs people into you and who you are. If someone is scrolling and they see my channel, something like this might grab them in, right? There's so many cute little ways to add additional flair, and you can also upload custom ones as well. Let me see. I feel like I even like this one. I really like this one because it says live. But if you want to use this, please remember when you are repurposing later on, you may not want that sign saying live. So you just want to be mindful. For me and my brand, I like a more minimal look, and so I would not be using any of these overlays. I just like plain and simple, to be quite honest. You can also go in here and you can change up your brand font depending on how you want your name to look or any words that you add on the screen. For me, I just like to keep it clean. So that's it for brand. You can also go into text and choose different things that you would like to show on your screen. For example, this is how that would look. And you're able to customize this, right? So this is a countdown timer. This can come in really handy for if you're selling something or if you want to share a link or something like that. I think these things can come in really handy and they'll disappear after a while, so you don't have to spend time trying to manage removing it from the screen. It's these little touches that make a product like this so simple for you to use, and I absolutely love it, friend. Lastly, I want to speak about media because you're able to add sounds to your live stream. For example, if you want people cheering, you can do that, which is so cool. If you want people clapping or a drum roll, all of these things can add so much personality to your multi-stream. But here is what I really love as well. You can even add a video that you would like for people to view on your live stream, and you would do that by clicking here and uploading that media. Lastly, I want to head over here with you and you can see that recording type, right? Let's say I want to name my live stream Camera Confidence Live Show. I am able to do that. And you can choose a recording type. So it can be audio and video, or it can be audio only, right? So that is something that you want to be mindful of. Video won't be recorded for this. It would only be audio. Even if you turn on your cameras during the session, it will only be audio that is recorded. And you want to keep that in mind and make sure that this is turned on to the correct setting. The other thing is, like I mentioned before, you're able to have 4K recording and you're able to have 1080p full HD for streaming. So you want to make sure you have that turned on so you get the highest quality. You can also change the language of your transcript, and I feel like that is so important. And you can even turn on noise reduction. That is not something that I'm going to use because I feel like my mic sounds pretty crispy. But if you're in a situation where you feel like a lot is going on in your background, maybe turning that on could be really helpful. Now, before you multi-stream, you want to make sure that your platforms are connected properly. And here are some settings that I want to make sure or reinforce that you have all set up and connected. So you want to make sure, first of all, that you do have all of your platforms connected like we spoke about before. But here's something that I want you to ensure as well. When you are in that moment, you're ready to multi-stream, you want to make sure that each of your platforms are are on and ready to go. So you can either turn on or turn off channels depending on where you desire to multi-stream to. So for example, I can turn off Facebook if I don't want to multi-stream to it, and I can turn on LinkedIn if I want to multi-stream only to LinkedIn. So you can have all of your platforms connected, but you can actually choose in that moment where you actually want to live stream or multi-stream to. Okay, the other thing is I want to connect you to Instagram, and I want to show you exactly how you're able to do that. So when you are in your Riverside FM studio, you want to make sure that you add a destination and you head over to custom RTMP. Now, what that's going to do is bring up a window. And in this window, you are going to enter the stream name. So my stream name here is Instagram. And you want to add your stream URL and your stream key. So on Instagram, I'm going to head over there and I am going to click create. Then I'm going to select live video. And then I'm going to name the actual live show. So I'm going to name it Camera Confidence Live. And then I'm going to choose the audience that I want to stream to. So I'm going to hit public. And then I'm going to hit next. Now that is going to give me all of the information I need for the next step on Riverside. I'm going to copy the stream URL. I'm going to go over to my Riverside. I'm going to paste that right here. And I'm also going to copy the stream key, and I'm going to go over here and paste this right here. And then I'm going to hit add. Okay, but here's the thing about Instagram. Every time you want to stream to Instagram currently in this moment, you are going to have to add it as a destination, and you're going to have to go through this process. Again, just enter Instagram, you enter your stream URL, and you enter your stream key, you hit add, and that will connect you to Instagram so that you're able to stream to Instagram. When it comes to Facebook, you will be able to add either a page or a profile, and you just click on page and you'll connect your page. You click on profile and you're able to connect your profile as well. When it comes to connecting your YouTube account, you just have to agree to the statement on the screen here, and then you hit continue, and that will lead you over to connecting your YouTube account to Riverside. When you've connected everything, all of the ones that you see here, you'll just be able to toggle them on and off, and it's really pretty simple. Okay, so by now you have your studio all set up, you have your lights, your cameras, and now it's time for the action. You have all of your settings in Riverside all set up and ready to multi-stream. You have all of your destinations connected and everything is all set up and it looks and sounds the way that you desire. It's now time to go live. Let's jump into the Riverside studio and see what that actual process looks like. All right, friend, are you ready? So all of your destinations are connected. Like I said before, you will see this go live button here. By this time, you've already run your recording test, so you know that everything looks and sounds great. And now it's time to go live, right? Wrong. Here's the first thing that I want to make sure that you do before you actually go live. I want you to make sure that you have your chat bar opened so that you can see your studio chat and you can also see your public chat. For me, I live stream alone or I multi-stream alone. So there's no actual need to have my producer chat or studio chat open. So I like to make sure I have my public chat open first. However, for you, it might be different. You might want to pay attention to what your producer is saying or what anyone else is telling you. So I've chosen my layout. I'm just going live just like this. And then you hit that go live button. And let me tell you, friend, you're live. You're multi-streaming to different platforms with access to different audiences. And this is just such a game changer. And you'll have so much fun because you're going to be able to start building on another platform without the pressure of using multiple phones or multiple devices to do so. Now, when you're done live streaming, this same button will say stop. All you have to do is click stop to stop the live stream. If you have people chatting with you inside of Riverside and it's popping up right here, all you have to do is click on those comments and it can actually pop up on the screen, which is so cool. It's a great way to increase the engagement on your live stream and to feature the people that are in your community who are there and connecting and communicating with you as well. now. What if I told you the fun is actually just beginning? The coolest thing is that when you hit stop on that live stream, it's going to begin to process so that you can actually edit your live streams inside of Riverside. Yes, I said inside of Riverside. You can edit your live streams. Okay. This is why I love Riverside. You are able to go through production and even post-production and promotion of your live stream and your work in itself. So the coolest thing is that you've used Riverside to multi-stream to multiple platforms, and now you can repurpose that content so it does not have to die with your live stream. Let's get into it. Here we are instead of our live stream or multi-stream projects inside of Riverside. I want to walk you through this project section. For every project, you will see this section for every single show. So if you hit projects, you'll see that you have multiple projects. Whatever projects you worked on, you will see them here. Now you're able to log into those projects, and you have 4 sections that I want you to pay attention to. You have recordings, you have made for you have edits, and you have export. Now let's walk through recordings so that we can see what is possible in here. Now I want you to know that you'll be able to download a copy of your video here for if you need to use it for anything, whether you need to save it or add it to Dropbox or whatever you desire to do. And the other thing about recordings is that you have a copy of your transcript right here. Now, what I love about having a copy of your transcript is that you are able to hit copy and paste it into Claude or ChatGPT if you desire. You're even able to download your transcript right here and save either the transcript or the SRT files. The next thing I want to talk about is made for you. This section is so amazing. I am mind blown by it every time I look at it. Now, what I love is that you do have access to show notes. In your show notes, you will get keywords about your live stream based on what you spoke about. You will also have a summary here. You'll get takeaways from what you spoke about on your live stream, and you'll get titles and sound bites and even chapters for YouTube. You can copy this directly from here into your YouTube description, and it will separate your chapters for you. Of course, this is AI, so you want to verify that it is correct before you add any of this. All that said, having access to it is such a humbling experience because it means you don't have to waste time doing any of this. The next part of Made For You that I absolutely love is magic clips. Now, these are clips that are 1 minute and under, where they have picked out the best parts of your live stream, and you are able to use these as YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikToks, and all of that jazz. You can actually use these as promotion to get even more views on your live stream because you can send that audience directly back to that live stream for viewing. The other thing is magic segments. These are like mini YouTube videos, and I think it's so genius that they've made segments out of amazing parts of a YouTube video. Imagine having 4 additional YouTube videos that you can upload onto your social media platforms, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're able to upload that horizontal video, you can add these. And I think that makes a big difference in repurposing. The other thing is hooks. You can also add hooks to your social media. There are sample posts or captions that you can create from whatever you spoke about on your live streams. I mean, if this is not a game changer, I don't know what is. The last part that I love from Made For You is the ability to get thumbnails and snapshots from your live stream. I think it's so cool that you can get organic pictures. Look at this picture, and the quality is absolutely amazing. You just have to download it, and you're able to update the thumbnail on the video instantly. This is so amazing, guys. I want you to tell me what you think about all of this down below because I think it's absolutely mind-blowing. The last thing that I do want to mention is you're also able to hit edit on any of these posts, and it will take you over to the Riverside editor, which we will talk about in a minute, so that you're able to actually edit and brand your videos exactly how you would like. Now let's head over to edits. In edits, you are able to open up that editor. You can jump into the editor, and there's so much that you can do in here. It's literally like an editor. Now, what I love about this is that you are able to select your words and delete them or restore them, and that is like you editing your video as if it's a document. Another thing that I absolutely love is the AI tools here. You can remove pauses, you can remove filler words, you can even remove fluff. The last thing that I want to share here that I think is so helpful is you're able to apply studio quality sound to your live streams for repurposing. So let's say you would like to repurpose this live stream by editing it and making it into its own full-blown new YouTube video. You are able to do so. Another thing that I absolutely love about the editor is the AI producer feature. These are sections that AI feels like, hey, this should be removed because it seems out of place. For example, during this live stream, I knew I made a mistake here, so I'm able to approve whatever the AI producer is saying. So there are a few moments in this video where the AI producer is like, hey, I think this should be removed. You just want to make sure that you are actually reading through or listening through and checking, because again, this is AI, but it is so helpful to have that help as you go through editing. Now, listen, I can make a whole new video on the AI editor inside of Riverside, but guess what? If you let me know that it's something that you feel like would be helpful for you, then I will make it, okay? But I want you to tell me, what do you think about all of this? Imagine doing one live stream, multi-streaming it to different platforms, and then being able to repurpose in this amazing way. The last section here is exports. I don't have any exports for this, but you can find your exports right here. And I think this is also helpful. But I want to hear from you because I think it's so helpful. I would love to know what you think below. I mean, this is at least 15 to 20 pieces of content from one multi-stream. And I think that in itself is completely worth it. Real talk, friend. Remember, multi-streaming is a tool. It's not a requirement. But let me tell you something, it is game changing. If you're starting out and that feels really overwhelming, just pick one platform, build confidence, find your rhythm, and then you can start adding on. If you're ready to expand your reach without expanding your effort, okay, multi-streaming on Riverside is the simplest way to get through this. And if you're still on the fence about whether Riverside is the right platform for you, I created a full comparison video where I actually break down Riverside versus Ecamm Live versus Restream based on simplicity, reliability, if you're able to repurpose, accessibility, and even affordability, because you know we are saving our coins in this season. I will link that video below. It'll help you make the best decision for your own specific setup. You're already showing up, or you're thinking of showing up. You're probably already creating really valuable content. Multi-streaming just means more people benefit from what you're already doing. It means your message amplified. Also, remember, if you're ready to try Riverside, use code Zaylee for 1 month free. I'll put that link below. Everything is down in the description below. You want to test out these multi-streaming features to see if they work for your strategy. And if you want support showing up confidently on camera, not just the tech, but also the mindset, I want you to hit subscribe because that's what we talk about on this channel. That's what we're all about here. Drop a comment and let me know, how have you been feeling about live streaming? Is it something you've been thinking about? Have you already been thinking about multi-streaming, or is all of this just new to you? Let's talk below because you guys know I love to talk to you in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed and I'll chat with you soon.